Well, howdy all you collector car fans out there. This is once again Jason, the owner and founder of Southern Bush Motorsports and Southern Bush Consulting. Well, this is a great tale from the bush, but it's a combination of a whole bunch of tales from the bush. This is called camera roll, and I call this camera roll because it's basically a whole bunch of pictures I don't think I ever put up there, but there's some pretty cool pictures and gives a good idea of my adventures over the years. And don't forget that Southern Bush Motorsports turns into a consulting business as well because there's so many scams going on out there. And you may love muscle cars, but not everybody knows as much as I do or as other people do about muscle cars. So a combination of it all, and with the consulting business, if you're looking to buy a car and you're not quite sure about this and that, numbers matching, and if you're getting ripped off or if it's staged and stuff like that, it's better off to have an expert like myself, who's a recognized expert, to come in, take a look at the pictures that you got, what the car that you're looking to buy, and give us our input, professional input on what you're looking at. I had a friend a little while ago that was looking at buying a Talladega at an auction. He got all excited because we was at the auction. He saw this Talladega and he messaged me. He was kind of really late into it. He was kind of right before the car was about to go across the blocks, and I told him, something doesn't look right about the car, but if you're gonna buy it, you're gonna buy it. But I wish I had a little bit more time to look at the pictures. I blew him up on my big 55-inch TV. He's got a bunch of them in my office here. And I don't know, just something didn't look right. Turned out he bought the car and sent me pictures of it once it arrived. He was all upset about it. I told him, look, I tried to help you, but you can't. You got to give me a little bit of time to look at these pictures. And the car was a fake. He ended up going back to the um, auction house and getting refunded all of his money because they agreed it was fake. Oh, there's old orange there. I wonder how I pulled all these cars out of the bush and the woods and stuff. That right there is how I did it. Old orange. That truck came with me everywhere I went. It's been a great career, and I'd like to be able to spread my knowledge with other people and help people from getting burned because I can see a lot of stuff going on right now, and you just don't know how to help yourself. Oh, I love that Super B right there. That was one of my favorite cars that I found. That is a Panther Pink 70 Charger, 318 car, or 383 car. It wasn't a big deal, but beautiful Panther Pink car. And there was a beautiful 70 Cuda. There's a picture of a old Fury convertible. I took a picture of that thing. It's a 440. I couldn't believe that thing. It's all wrecked, but it was a pretty cool car. I think I'm in North Carolina here in an old boneyard that was in behind a restoration shop, and they use these cars as parts cars and stuff like that. But there were some pretty cool cars in that shop. That is a '57 Chevy Bel Air convertible on that pile of junk. It's a shame to see cars like this. That right there was the '69 Roadrunner that I sold to a guy in New Jersey who was a bus driver. Happened to be part of that 911 stuff, unfortunately. It's a '70 GTX 440 car that was restored. Yeah, I was a little upset because he restored. He literally finished it that day. I took pictures of it, and I flew in a buyer the next day. That is a 69.5 lift-off hood six-pack car, but Petty Blue didn't come out until 1970. There's that '69 Roadrunner again. I love that car. Now I'm into an old cotton plantation right here with this old black guy that I met at a gas station that had hidden all these cars in the woods and stuff. He didn't know what he was hiding. He just found a car and he parked it back there. It turned out some of them were pretty good. That is a real '70 Petty Blue Demon. That's one of my favorite pictures because that was just a cool car to find. This one here is 1967 Hemi GTX convertible, one of the seven, and it is real. I sold the car within an hour after finding it. I'd been looking for this car for years, but it was the old one of one. It was a bucket seat automatic on the console car, for real. That is a 1970 446 pack Superbird, completely unrestored, untouched. It is what it is. That's a brother right there. That is a 1970 440 Superbird, completely untouched, unrestored. And here we go again, 1970 Hornet Super B, 446 back, completely unrestored. That is the first Dodge that I ever found, '69 Charger on that cotton plantation. I think that was like '72, '73 Cuda I found out. I can't remember where I found that. I took that picture because I'd never seen a soprano window before on a FC Challenger. I thought that was really cool. Uh, 1974 46 back triple black Cuda. Oh, that was a Challenger. It was a 318 Challenger. The car was completely untouched, but a tree had fallen on top of it. These are my swamp cars. Pulled almost 600 cars out of a swamp. That was one of them too. There, that car hadn't actually been in the water; it was beside the water. But what a great adventure that was, man! That was crazy. The '69 GTX 440 Commando air grabber car. So many cool adventures. 1957 Chevrolet Bel Air convertible. 29 original models. Be able to document the whole thing. Lady bought the car brand new. She was a former slave on a plantation. Bought the car brand new, parked it, and died in the car the next night. Or that day. That was a '68 Camaro, I think. This is back in that place that had all the parts cars and stuff. That they did a lot of Chevrolet restorations. Shame to see all these cars like this. '70 Chevelle SS. I think that was a 396 car, but there's a 454 car beside it. 72, 71, 72 Chevelle. I had so much fun doing what I do, and it was a shame to see all these cars in the position that they were in, but we did what we did, and we helped where we could. And this is where the consulting business comes in. Like a place like this, all these cars right there, and that Chevrolet place were all beautiful restored cars, and every one of them was a clone. That was a '70, um, I can't remember, Datsun something. But the guy had a 427 under the hood with nitro. That was a boneyard in Effingham, South Carolina. It's one of the cars too. I mean, you want to talk about all the weird cars that went where'd they go, the station wagons and all that. They went to this place. One of the weirdest places I had ever been to. The guy was just an old coot and scary to be around, but he had some cars sitting all over the place. Another '70 Chevelle that I showed the picture of earlier. But when hope to listen to the end of this video, because if you're looking to buy an old car, I don't want you to get burned. Let my years of experience help you out. It's $100 for me to take a look at a few pictures of the cars, see if you're going to get burned. A little bit more if I have to get detailed into it. But I want you to have that cool car and the car that you want. But I want you to know what you're getting into. Restoration cost. Sold that car right there to a military hero. He still has that car to this day. That should be a little while ago. That was at 429 Boss Mustang right there. Believe it or not, that's what that car was. That wasn't a real eliminator, but I had a tough time documenting the car that it wasn't because I didn't know enough about the car. 340 Swinger, a beauty right there. Another, I think that was a 440 Satellite. I know you can hear a lot of background noise in that, but because I have a lot of computers in here to be able to do this work, and I have fans that have to face them to keep the heat down, and it's a lot of work. But I think that was a 383 Charger. But that was the first Sox and Martin publicly made car. First time that Sox and Martin ever made a car for a public member, and not just a race team. Look at this thing, covered in cars. Man, this place was. Look at how close the cars are together. It was so hard to get in between these cars, but I wouldn't say there was a bunch of rare cars in there. But I'm telling you something. If you're restoring a car and you needed parts, my God, this was the place to be. No question, this was the place to be. We need to keep this hobby alive, everyone. And I want to be able to be here to help. Make sure you don't get burnt. That was a 383 air grabber Super B, completely untouched. That was my first Mopar. It was a 340 Scat Pack Swinger, but it was a Hustler edition car. Very cool car. I didn't even know what it was until I pulled it out and found the build sheet. I actually found a joint attached to the back of that build sheet. Alright, well, this is Jason from Southern Motorsports, and it's another Tales from the Bush for you called Camera Roll, and I hope to see you again soon. There's the girls right there. Alright, come back, check out another adventure with us, will you?